Ever wondered why we're so obsessed with a grumpy, green creature who hates Christmas? That's right, we're diving deep into the world of the Grinch. From Dr. Seuss's classic book to the iconic animated special and the blockbuster movies, the Grinch has stolen more than just presents. He's stolen our hearts. But why? What is it about this fuzzy, festive-hating character that keeps us coming back year after year? Today, we're going to unwrap the story behind the story, explore the different versions of the Grinch, and figure out just what makes him tick. So grab a cup of hot cocoa, get comfy, and let's explore the surprisingly heartwarming tale of the creature who tried to steal Christmas. It all started back in 1957 with a little book by Theodore Geisel, better known as Dr. Seuss, titled How the Grinch Stole Christmas. The story is simple yet profound. High above the cheerful town of Hoville lives the Grinch, a sour, solitary being with a heart 2 sizes too small. He can't stand the noise, the joy, and the sheer Christmasness of the Who's down below. Their singing, their feasting, their endless happiness just grinds his gears. So he hatches a wonderfully awful idea. He's going to stop Christmas from coming. How? By stealing it, of course. Disguising himself as a twisted version of Santa Claus, or Santa Claus as he calls it, and his poor, long-suffering dog Max as a reindeer, the Grinch descends on Hoville. In the dead of night, he slithers down chimneys and snatches every last bit of Christmas. He takes the presents, the trees, the stockings, and even the log for their fire. He even takes the last can of Hoo Hash from their pantries. His most famous encounter is with little Cindy Lou, who, no more than 2, who catches him in the act. With a quick lie about fixing a light on her tree, he pats her on the head and sends her back to bed, his conscience pricking him just a tiny bit. With all the loot packed onto his sleigh, he heads to the top of Mount Crumpet, ready to dump it all and listen for the sounds of crying Who's. But instead of sobs, he hears something entirely different. He hears singing. The Who's, despite having nothing, have gathered hand in hand, their voices ringing out in a joyful Christmas song. And that's when the Grinch has his epiphany. The book's most famous lines capture it perfectly. Maybe Christmas, he thought, doesn't come from a store. Maybe Christmas, perhaps, means a little bit more. In that moment, his heart doesn't just grow. It grows 3 sizes. Filled with a newfound spirit, he races back down the mountain, returns everything he stole, and is even invited to carve the roast beast at the Who's Christmas feast. It's a beautiful story about redemption and the true meaning of community and spirit over materialism. 9 years later, in 1966, this story was brought to life in a way that would define the Grinch for generations. The animated TV special, How the Grinch Stole Christmas, directed by the legendary Chuck Jones of Looney Tunes fame, became an instant classic. It expanded on the book, giving us more visual gags and, most importantly, a voice. And what a voice it was. Horror movie icon Boris Karloff not only narrated the story but also voiced the Grinch himself, giving him that perfect blend of sinister and sophisticated. And we can't forget the music. The song You're a Mean One, Mr. Grinch, sung by Thurl Ravenscroft, is just as iconic as the character. Fun fact, many people thought Boris Karloff sang it, but it was actually the same guy who voiced Tony the Tiger. This special solidified the Grinch's look, the green fur, the yellow eyes, that wicked smile. It took the charm of the book and amplified it, making it a holiday tradition for millions. Then, in the year 2000, the Grinch got the big-budget live-action treatment. Directed by Ron Howard and starring the one Jim Carrey, this film was a massive undertaking. Carrey's performance is nothing short of legendary. He spent over 3 months in heavy makeup and a yak hair suit, and his physical comedy brought a manic, chaotic energy to the character that was completely new. This movie gave us what the book and the special only hinted at, a backstory. We learned that the Grinch wasn't just born mean. He was an outcast in Hoville as a child, bullied for his green appearance, especially by the future mayor, Augustus Maywo. A traumatic school experience involving a homemade Christmas gift for his crush, Martha May Hovier, is what finally sends him packing for the lonely solitude of Mount Crumpet. This added backstory was a game-changer. It transformed the Grinch from a simple symbol of holiday commercialism into a complex, Sympathetic character dealing with trauma, loneliness, and social rejection. He's not just mean for the sake of being mean. He's lashing out because he's been hurt. It adds a layer of psychological depth that really resonates with audiences. We see his cluttered cave, filled with inventions made from junk, a testament to his lonely genius. We see his complicated relationship with his only friend Max, who he's often mean to but clearly loves. And Cindy Lou, who, played by a very young Taylor Momsen, is no longer just a 2-year-old toddler. She's a curious, kind-hearted kid who questions the town's focus on presents and believes that everyone, even the Grinch, deserves to be included. She actively seeks him out and tries to bring him into the community. Her belief in him is the catalyst for his change, making the story even more about connection and empathy. The 2000 film is a visual spectacle. The set design for Hoville is incredible, a whimsical Sushin world brought to life. The costumes, the makeup, the sheer scale of it all is a feast for the eyes. And while some critics at the time found it a bit over the top, audiences loved it. It became the highest-grossing film of the year in the United States. Jim Carrey's Grinch is a whirlwind of improvisation and hilarious one-liners that have become endlessly quotable. Lines like, "Am I just eating because I'm bored?" Or his dramatic monologue about what to wear for his night of thievery are comedy gold. This version gave us a Grinch who was not only mean, but also relatable, anxious, and deeply funny. Fast forward to 2018, and we get yet another take on the tale with Illumination's animated film, The Grinch. With Benedict Cumberbatch voicing the lead, this version aimed for a slightly softer, more modern feel. Here, the Grinch isn't as terrifyingly mean as his predecessors. He's more of a cynical, sarcastic grump who lives a life of routine and mild inconvenience. His primary motivation for stealing Christmas is to silence the Who's obnoxiously loud festivities so he can have some peace and quiet. Max the dog is more capable and partner-like than ever, and we're introduced to a new character, Fred the overweight reindeer, who provides some great comic relief. This version also updates Cindy Lou Who's story. She isn't just trying to meet Santa to give him a letter. She's on a mission to ask him to help her overworked single mother. It's a sweet, modern motivation that adds a lot of heart. This Grinch's change of heart is also more gradual. It's not one single moment of hearing the Who's sing, but a series of small interactions and realizations that chip away at his grumpy exterior. Cumberbatch's performance is less manic than Carrey's, offering a more understated, internally struggling Grinch. This film is visually stunning, with Illumination's signature bright and bouncy animation style. It's perhaps the most family-friendly and gentle version of the story, focusing heavily on themes of kindness and community from the very beginning. So, we have 3 major interpretations: the classic symbol, the traumatized outcast, and the lonely grump. Each one reflects the time in which it was made and offers something different. The original story is a timeless parable. The 1966 special is pure nostalgic magic. The 2000 movie is a comedic masterpiece with surprising emotional depth. And the 2018 film is a warm, modern take on kindness. But the core message remains the same in all of them. The Grinch's story is ultimately one of transformation. It's about how community, kindness, and love can heal even the most broken and isolated hearts. It's a powerful reminder that the holidays are about who you're with, not what you have. The Grinch thinks he hates the Who's, but what he really hates is his own loneliness and the feeling of being an outsider looking in. When Cindy Lou Who shows him unconditional kindness, she opens a door he had long since bolted shut. When the Who's welcome him, a creature who literally just robbed them blind, they show the true spirit of Christmas: forgiveness and inclusion. And that's why we love him. We see a part of ourselves in the Grinch. Who hasn't felt a little grumpy during the holidays? Who hasn't felt overwhelmed or lonely, or just wanted everyone to be quiet for 5 minutes? He's a deeply human character, despite being a green, whatever he is. His journey from cynical hermit to a beloved member of the community gives us hope. It tells us that it's never too late to change, to open your heart, and to find your own Hoville. So, which Grinch is your favorite? The classic, the comedic, or the cuddly? Let me know down in the comments. The story of the Grinch is more than just a Christmas tale. It's a story about the best parts of humanity. Thanks for watching, And don't forget to like and subscribe for more deep dives into your favorite stories. See you next time.